Hokies, their fourth home match of the season, a team that has looked strong at home this year, 2-0-1, wins over Ohio State, wins over Canisius, and a tie to Virginia. We're underway on this Tuesday night. Hokies in the orange, Furman in the whites. Paladin team with a lot of returners from last year's squad. Again, a team that fell to Virginia Tech 3-0 in last year's game. The good news for Furman, all three goal scorers for the Hokies in that match last year have since moved on. So Virginia Tech trying to find some new goal scorers and what has been a new look Hokies for head coach Mike Brizendine in 2025. Inside the box, Furman with it, it's punched out. Hokies go to clear with Alex Perez. Uimana, the captain, just loses it deep in his own territory. Virginia Tech defense that's been strong so far through the first 4 matches of the season, allowing just 4 goals. It all starts with the goalkeeper, Sam Joseph, the UCLA transfer. He's been battle-tested so far. 2 out of the first 4 matches for the Hokies against top 5 opponents in the country, in Ohio State and Marshall. But Virginia Tech has not broken so far. It's already our first stoppage, and the referee will go to the replay monitor just over a minute in. Mentioned Mike Brizendine, the 17th year head coach of Virginia Tech. His opposition, Doug Allison, in his 31st season with Furman. A guy that is in his farewell tour with the Furman Paladins. He's built one of the nation's top programs out in Furman. 352 career victories. He took the Paladins all the way to an NCAA tournament last year. Fell in the second round to who else but the national runners-up, the Marshall Thundering Herd. So a squad that has a lot of high potential entering this 2025 campaign. Entered second in the SoCon preseason polls. Only behind those pesky UNCG Spartans. As for Virginia Tech, trying to make the NCAA tournament for what would be the first time since 2021. So our referee will call both coaches together. And the Hokies will get the ball after the quick trip to the replay monitor. Furman retaining it on the far side. An offense for the Paladins that's been strong through the first 5 matches. 13 goals for head coach Doug Allison. So 2 clean sheets to start the season. So Furman's found the winning formula so far early in the season. They're going to try to pull another one out here on the road against the Hokies in their first true road match of the season. So we'll go against Virginia Tech, and the Paladins get the possession back. A team in Furman that played 2 neutral site games against UC San Diego and the University of San Diego. But other than that, 3 home matches for this club in Furman. The first of 2 top 25 opponents this week. They see Virginia Tech and then Gardner-Webb this week. So it's going to be a big week for Furman. Evan Schroeder moving it along the back line for Virginia Tech. Tries the through ball on the far wing. Felicio unable to catch up to it. Hokies are going to need to connect on those through passes, try to set up the shots. Hokies team 13.8 shots per game. Top 10 in the ACC in that department. But it's really been the defense for Virginia Tech keeping the squad in the games this year. It always helps when you post 2 shutouts to start the year, one of which being against Ohio State. There's a foul along the midfield. Hokies have also played that brand of soccer so far this year. They lead the ACC in fouls per game. Take another look at it. It's on the far side. O'Reilly sticks that foot in, trips up the Furman attacker on it. Centering pass. Threatening in the box was Furman. Reed was unable to catch up to it. But once again, the pressure from the Paladins keeps him with the possession. Connor Stout, the freshman from Fairfax, Virginia, wearing that number 24 jersey in the whites. One of the star freshmen for Furman this year. Part of a decent-sized freshman class. But it's interesting, a squad at Furman that did not welcome in any transfers this offseason. In the modern era of college athletics, kind of an anomaly to not see a transfer on a team. But Furman, again, they found the winning formula so far, 3-0-2 through their first 5 matches. They don't start the SoCon Gauntlet until the beginning of October, so one more month of non-cons for the visitors. Bellatrash being met with the double team. There's João Felicio, the freshman out of Portugal, to throw it in. One of a handful of international players for this Virginia Tech squad. A team that returned just 9 members from last year's club that went 7-6-4, went 1-5-2 in the ACC. That's something Virginia Tech will try to expand on here in the 17th year of Mike Brisendine's time here at Virginia Tech, is getting those ACC results. Of the last 3 years, the Hokies 3-18-4 in Atlantic Coast Conference matches. But they've looked good in the non-cons, 13-11-7. This one just punched over the crossbar out of play. Sam Joseph will pick up a new ball. He'll have the goal kick. The senior out of San Diego has been just lights out for the Hokies this year in his first season with Virginia Tech. Guy that ranks 30th in the nation with his 2 shutouts. He was also the ACC Defensive Player of the Week after he posted a shutout against Ohio State to open the year. Soccer strong on the West Coast, and this is one guy that has seen it with his own 2 eyes. Perez able to touch it on over to Ruiz Mateos. He shoots, and he sends it just wide of the frame. Ivan Horvath able to watch it to his rights. It was a good opportunity for the freshman from Madrid, Spain, still searching for his first goal of his collegiate career. Had a good look. It all started with the through ball. Just hit it off the side of the nets. And the Hokies will have their hands full facing Horvath, the redshirt freshman out of Slovakia, the starting goalkeeper for Furman. And with a save percentage just over the 66% range. Also leads the SoCon in the goals against average. Schroeder comes to the near side. Alex Perez, standout freshman from a year ago, the sophomore back for year number 2, and he's put together a good campaign so far. 2 goals through his first 4 matches. So watch out for the number 9 in the Hokie burnt orange and maroon. Him and Marcano were the 2 big additions to Virginia Tech last year. One from Las Vegas, the other one from Gaithersburg, Maryland. They were able to form quite a tag team in Blacksburg, Virginia last year. Uemana keeps it in, just tiptoeing that line. Give and go, finds its way to Declan Quill. Centering pass, stopped off the chest, Perez puts it on net. Blocked through a Furman wall of defenders. It was Connor Dunnigan, the junior from Mississippi, who just put the body on the line for it. Hokies retreating back in their defensive territory. Schroeder in the midfield. Hokies trying to find some life on the offense. Furman able to pickpocket him on it. Paladins going the other way. This one booted down the near sideline. Uimana able to get in the middle of it. Trying to find Diego Hernandez. Hernandez right on cue. Little touch on over to his left, and this one will go off the right boot of the Hokie defender, Schroeder. Gonna be a throw-in for Furman. Paladins have had some tempo with that offense so far through the first 10 minutes. Well, it's been the Hokies with the lone 2 shots of the ball game. Braden Dunham on the throw-in, the freshman out of Peachtree City, Georgia. Inside the box, headed out by O'Reilly. It's interesting, a Furman team out of Greenville, South Carolina. Their recruiting landscape is really all over the country, from down in Florida all the way up north to New York. You've got some hometown Commonwealth guys making a return, a Richmond native, a Fairfax, Virginia native, and Stout and Cox, respectively. So Furman's drawing in the top high school players from across the country year after year. Centering pass into the box, and it's knocked away by the goalkeeper of Horvat, and the defender just booting it out. Horvat coming out of his jurisdiction just to knock it loose. The redshirt freshman doing a good job covering his responsibilities. And now a throw-in coming for the Hokies. One of 3 goalkeepers used by Furman this year. All 3 underclassmen. A Paladin team that returned the SoCon goalkeeper of the year in Aaron Salinas, although he has not seen time yet this year. And Horvat right on cue, able to corral it with the gloves. Fighting off some traffic, just rolls it off. Grayson Travis, the freshman. Uimana has something else to say about it. Virginia Tech team newly ranked as the 14th team in the country as of this afternoon's top 25 polls, conducted by the United Soccer coaches. Hokies were at 8 entering the morning. Did slide down a few spots after that tie to Virginia Friday nights. A back and forth contest in the Commonwealth clash. UVA got on the scoreboard in the first half early in it. Uimana tripped up, he loses it past the end line. It's gonna be a goal kick awarded to Horvat. But the Cavaliers got first on the board in that game. Andy Sullen's able to tie it up, and then Amir O'Reilly able to give the Hokies a lead in the 43rd minute, but it was the Cavaliers that stormed all the way back just with 12 minutes to play in the match, and they were able to force the equalizer and a tie. A draw to leave Blacksburg for UVA. Although it was still a great crowd that was welcomed in to Thompson Field. Standing room only for an early season match. First conference affair for Virginia Tech, so 0-1 in the ACC so far. The Hokies will get their second shot of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Just 5 days' time, they welcome in the Boston College Eagles here to Thompson Fields. It's always good to see these non-cons in the midweek. Try to fine-tune against some of the best mid-majors and Furman and Canisius. ETSU on the schedule later in the year. Winthrop. Body-on-body collision. Make sure everyone's okay. It was Marcano and Reed that just collided on it. Furman able to retain the possession. Take another look at it. Marcano tried to take the charge on it. Couldn't get the feet set. Although we're not playing basketball, so still legal guarding position. Free kick in the box for Furman. Joseph comes out and knocks it loose. Well, there's a reason that Sam Joseph was so effective with the UCLA Bruins the last 3 seasons, and it's for his ability to really command the box, all 4 corners. His presence is felt, and the Hokies have definitely seen the payoff by the first-year transfer goalkeeper into Blacksburg, his 4th year of collegiate soccer. Also helps in Joseph that played in just 6 games with UCLA last year, all of which against ranked opponents. So that's always good when you post a 3-1-2 record against 6 top 25 opponents out on the West Coast. The brand new Big Ten UCLA. On the near side, here's Stouts. Schroeder, the senior out of Atlanta, Georgia. One of those returners from last year's club. Both teams feeling it out so far through the first 15 minutes. On the most recent touch, the junior out of Austin, Texas. One of the staples here for Virginia Tech men's soccer. The only non-goalie to play in every single minute for Virginia Tech this season. Sam Joseph's also played in all 360 minutes. But Uimana also joins that exclusive list. The workhorse Ironman mentality. It helps bring back a veteran presence for a Virginia Tech team with so many new faces this year. Ref will stop play. Trainer will be called out. And 2 teams that play very physical. Virginia Tech, the ACC leaders in fouls per game. Furman also up there in the fouls per game department in the SoCon. So that's going to try to keep a tight grip on this game. So both clubs seeing 11 yellow cards through their first 5 matches for Furman, 4 matches for Virginia Tech. It's Caleb Johnson off on the sideline, the junior out of Atlanta, Georgia. The guy that played against the Hokies last year in the meeting, went 46 minutes against Tech. Will re-enter the game. It's the first ever meeting between Furman and Virginia Tech back on the 8th of September last year. So yesterday was the 1-year anniversary at Stone Soccer Stadium. Hokies claimed a 3-0 victory. Game played in the midfield so far. There's 2 shots by Virginia Tech. This game has not seen a shot since the 8-minute mark. We've got almost 10 minutes without a shot in the game. The Hokies trying to change that. Perez. Chip shot to Uimana. Marcano tries his luck. He's pushed away. That was the scouting report entering this match. 2 very good defenses. Something's got to give. Only 5 goals allowed by Furman, 4 by Virginia Tech this year. There's a reason that it's 2 unbeaten squads on this Tuesday night. Ping-ponged along the midfield. Furman able to retain the possession. There's a throw-in for Luke Munson, freshman out of the Lone Star State, Little Elm, Texas. Furman's seen a lot of production from their freshmen, a lot of minutes for the first years. Munson, one of those names. Grayson Travis. We've seen the likes of Connor Stout, Gianluca Rizzo with a goal against North Greenville earlier this year. So that's been the cool thing to watch with this Furman team. It's those freshmen that have stepped up in big ways. Declan Quill, the senior, trying to track it down. Braden Dunham able to get in the middle of it. Through ball on the far wing. Able to push forward into the box, centering pass, shot, and it goes just over the crossbar. Furman was looking for the first strike in the game. Joseph unable to get a hand on it, so it will be a goal kick awarded to the Hokie keeper. Or was that number 20 for the Paladins, Ryan Reed? He's already scored once this year. Did it against North Greenville, coming off of 2 assists against Davidson on Thursday. Great centering pass. Missed the first guy, second guy able to knock it up over the crossbar. But a Furman team that has also been battle-tested. Their 3rd top 25 opponent of the season. Furman has tied each of those other top 25 matches. 1-1 at the hands of the 8th-ranked Duke Blue Devils and 0-0 against San Diego, the 9th-ranked team in the country at the time. So entering today, it was going to be the 3rd top 10 matchup for Furman, but as the Hokies slide down to 14 in the rankings, it's still a top 15 and a top 25 matchup for the Paladins. But later this week, they'll get their shot at the 7th-ranked Gardner-Webb, the Runnin' Bulldogs. Beltran Alvarez, one of the transfers for the Hokies out of Florida Gulf Coast University from our ASUN all-freshman team a year ago. Hokies welcomed in 6 big transfers over the offseason. Sam Joseph, the biggest name of them all, the goalkeeper for Virginia Tech today. We've seen production from Alvarez, Hugo Bertelli. Able to net that goal against Canisius earlier this year. You also see some glue guys like Yanis Bellatrash, the UCF transfer, Paris, France native. So the Hokies are really able to utilize those 6 transfers in every different aspect of the game. Goalkeepers to forwards to the midfield and to the defensive end for 17th-year head coach Mike Brizendine. Throwing for Felicio. Shot, and it's punched away by Joseph. Looking for the first goal of the game was the Paladins. There was some force on that shot from Furman. There's Caleb Johnson, who was looking to net his second goal of the season. From distance, too, just outside of the box. Johnson scored in his last game against Davidson back on Thursday. Whether he assisted a goal and Davidson scored against North Greenville 3 matches ago. A guy that's been all over the stat sheet for Furman through their first 5. Into this some empty space, but Joseph leaps up and corrals it. Sam Joseph once again coming out and fielding his position for another stop. So far, shots even at 2 apiece in the ball game. Hokies saw 2 shots in the first 8 minutes of the contest. Over the last 15, it's been shifting in Furman's favor. Bellatrash fighting off a pair of defenders. Late whistle from behind. Bellatrash coming off of an assist against Virginia Friday night. He's had assists in each of his last 2 matches for the Hokies, wearing that number 5 jersey in the orange and maroon. And it's also played a full 90-minute effort each of the last 2 times out for his club out of Blacksburg. It helps when you get a veteran like Bellatrash out of UCF. Scored 3 goals in his career down in Florida. He also claimed to be the best golfer on the UCF men's soccer team. So I have to assume there was a lot of hitting the links in the offseason for Bellatrash. Free kick sent on net and stopped by Horvaths. Kano tries to progress it, gets it over to Quill. Declan Quill with some space, stopped by Horvaths. Senior out of Falls Church, Virginia, was trying to net his first goal of the season. But Ivan Horvath has been a brick wall so far for the first 25 minutes of play. Once again from distance for Declan Quill. Off of 4 shots against Virginia Friday nights. Now our first corner kick going to the Hokies. 6th in the ACC in corner kicks this year. Low lining insert finds its way to Perez. Still has it, Alex Perez finds a attacker on it, but Horvath able to fall on it. Just into a sea of Furman Paladins. It was Perez trying to be the magician with it and sneak one past Ivan Horvath. But it's going to be tough to steal a goal against a member of the Slovakia national team. He protects the pipes for Furman. And had O'Reilly for a second there before O'Reilly was pushed from behind. Freshman coming off of a goal Friday night against Virginia. It's our first sub of the match.
And number 15, Andy Solons.
So starters go the first 26 minutes before both head coaches decide to dig into their bench. For the Hokies, Andy Sullins and Colin Butel check in. For Furman, it's Ben Boxall, Landon Hill, and Wilfer Bustamante. So 5 new pairs of fresh legs inserted in this ball game that's scoreless as we keep on chugging towards halftime. 28 minutes gone. Fourth non-conference affair for Virginia Tech on the season. Hokie player cramps up, and now Furman has some momentum. And we will see a stoppage from the referee. Daniel Schneck-Morano will check in on the Hokie player that was down. It was O'Reilly who was going downfield with the ball and just kind of cramped up and lost possession of it. So allow a chance for both teams to go back to their benches and talk things over with their head coaches. So kind of used as a semi-hydration break, if you will. Talk strategy for both teams. Good time to look over the new top 25 poll from the United Soccer coaches. Indiana rounding out the top 25. It was Stanford a week ago. The Cardinal, they drop a match. This was the play where O'Reilly had it, just started grabbing towards that left leg, went down, and Furman even was kind of slowing it down, waiting for the ref's whistle. But Indiana topped the list, 5-0-1 this year for the Hoosiers. Clemson right behind him at number 2 in the country. The Hokies will get their shot at the Tigers to end out the regular season on the 31st of October. So it just adds to the gauntlet that Virginia Tech has already faced. Number 3, Ohio State. Number 2, Marshall. On the schedule as of right now, number 8, Stanford. Number 6, Louisville. And number 2, Clemson. So potentially 3 more chances against top 10 opponents for the Hokies. Wake Forest also in the 4th spot. They were the only other team to receive a first place vote. As O'Reilly is helped up and start making his way towards the sideline. But 8 total first place votes to be acquired. Indiana got 7 of them. Wake Forest got the other. Start to see some mid-majors come into the list, starting with Akron, really. The Zips are 3rd in the country on the latest poll. Still a lot of undefeated teams left as we emerge week number 3 of the men's college soccer season. Conference play right around the corner. Well, the ACC sprinkles in some conference opponents throughout the seasons on the weekends. So after tonight, the next 2 for the Hokies, both conference affairs against Boston College and Stanford. In the place of O'Reilly will be Tito Peralta, the freshman out of Madrid, Spain. One of 12 freshmen for this Virginia Tech team. Only 28 guys on the roster. That's about 43% of them are freshmen.
For your Hokies, number 8, Hugo Bertelli. And number 22, Tito Peralta.
Hugo Bertelli also will enter the ball game for the Hokies. The junior out of France, the Campbell transfer. So between the 6 transfers, the 12 freshmen, it is a new look squad here in Blacksburg. Ref drops the ball. We're back underway. 16 minutes to go before halftime. And now the goalkeepers will exchange it to each other. Almost like in basketball where you check it to your opponent before play resumes. Goalkeepers let each other see a touch before we're back underway. Throwing for Felicio along the far side. Sun slowly fading in the distance. Top of McComas Hall. It's one of these postcard settings here in Blacksburg. Furman looking for a postcard type goal. Triple team, and falling to the ground is Hernandez. Virginia Tech able to get the whistle. So it takes 3 Virginia Tech defenders to stop the surging offense from Furman. First touch for Andy Sullins, wearing that number 15 jersey for the Hokies, the senior out of Athens, Tennessee. Perez over to Bertelli. Hokies with a chance. Perez tries to center. It is a little squibber on the ground. Butel puts it on cage, but Horvat able to fall on it. Ivan Horvat makes his 3rd save of the night. Butel was trying to go low with it. Fifth shot of the night for Virginia Tech. 3 of the 5 on net. A year ago, Furman finished 4th in the SoCon. They had a magical run at the SoCon tournament. Beat Mercer in the quarterfinals and took down UNCG, who is the regular season champions, 6-5 in PKs. Continued their Cinderella run, taking down ETSU in the SoCon championship, earning their 17th berth to the NCAA tournament. It was also the 15th time that the Paladins walked away with the SoCon tournament champion. A team that was the gold standard of mid-major men's soccer in the 1990s. Won 5 straight SoCon tournaments from 94 all the way up to 99. And it all starts with Doug Allison, the 31st year head coach, his final year atop the Paladins. So Furman trying to do something special before they say goodbye to their head man. Corner kick for Furman, their first of the match. Sent into the box on the ground, and it's spiked up into the air. And 31 years is a long time to build up a program down in Greenville, South Carolina. Took over in 1995, and since arriving, he's took them to 11 SoCon regular season titles, 10 tournament titles, and numerous NCAA tournament runs. And it helps when Allison himself, a former standout at the University of South Carolina, he's still the school's all-time leading scorer with 63 goals for the Gamecocks. It was over 30 years ago we played. And again, this rivalry was added to the schedule last year. The back half of this home and home between Furman and Virginia Tech. Uemana trying to tiptoe his way down the near side. Junior captain for Virginia Tech. Lone point coming as an assist against Marshall a few weeks ago. Guy that represented the Rwanda national team over the summer. It's always a big honor when you can put the country's name across your chest and represent a nation at the national level. handful of these guys have that experience with various different nations across the globe. Finding some Rumbutal. Looks for a finishing touch just wide of Felicio. Into the corner. Underneath the boot of Bertelli. Hokies had a chance there. The tic-tac-toe was unable to finish. Here's Furman the other way. Hokies defense holds strong with Alvarez. A quickly turned away to Furman. Pushed past the end line, and it's going to be a goal kick. Both teams just trying to run through the defenders. Pair of fresh legs centers the ball game for the visitors.
Welcome to the game for Furman, number 15, Jack Travis. Number 22, Gianluca Rizzo.
Jack Travis and Gianluca Rizzo enter the game, the junior and the freshman respectively. One out of Louisville, the other one out of Eastchester, New York. Cool little connection between the Travis brothers on this Furman team. Jack, the junior, Grayson, the new freshman this year. It's always cool when you see a pair of brothers getting to lace up the boots and play together in the collegiate level. Must bring back so many childhood memories out on the pitch, playing youth soccer, travel ball, and all of a sudden to do it with your brother, competing for a conference title, an NCAA title. Special moments. Plus, that type of chemistry just can't be taught. Brother connection. Throwing awarded to Evan Schroeder. 10 games a year ago for the Hokies in his junior season. Also saw time against the Duke Blue Devils in the ACC tournament match a year ago. Throws it into the box. Hokies fell to Duke 2-0 in that first round ACC loss. That ended their season a year ago. The Hokies trying to get back on top and make the NCAA tournaments. Squad that went all the way to the College Cup back in 2007. Made 10 NCAA tournaments. And they definitely built a non-conference schedule that will set them up for a good shot of making that if they can pull up some results here in the season. And so far they've done that. Wins over Ohio State and Canisius. Draws to Marshall and Virginia. And you knew coming into the season was going to be a gauntlet facing two of the top 3 teams in the country, including the defending national runners-up in the Marshall Thundering Herd. I mean, all you're missing was Vermont, who opened the year as the #1 team in the country, and then you complete the trifecta on your schedule. And the Catamounts have looked good so far this year, 3-0-2. Trying to defend that national title. Currently the ACC with 8 teams in that top 25 poll. You also see Virginia Tech and Louisville, 2 teams that in the preseason poll for Virginia Tech, 2 of the 3 teams finished in the bottom 3 projected in the poll. Scooped up by Horvaths. Everyone knew that Clemson, Wake Forest, Pitt, Duke, those would be the teams to catch. But all the way on the bottom end, you have Virginia Tech, Louisville, Boston College. Hokies are 14th in the country. The Cardinals are 6th in the country. Mike Brizendine, the James Madison products. And had a very successful coaching career out at Bridgewater College. School out in the ODAC Conference. Chance to assist both the men's and women's programs for Bridgewater before he became the head men's coach back in 2001. And Briz has seen a lot of signature wins with Virginia Tech. They've knocked off 3 #1 teams during his time in Blacksburg, including Marshall, Notre Dame, and North Carolina. I mean, how many coaches can claim that they've taken down 3 #1 teams at the time? The ball trying to get to Perez. Uemana hooks this one to the far wing, trying to find Butel. Boxes out, keeps it with Virginia Tech. Just over 5 minutes to play before halftime. Scoreless between Virginia Tech and Furman. Hokies out shooting the Paladins 5-2. Both teams with just one corner kick opportunity. It's been a pretty even match so far. Looking for the header, and this one sent just over the crossbar. Beltran Alvarez looking for his first points of the season. The Buenos Aires, Argentina native just goes high with it. And the Paladins will breathe a sigh of relief. Foul called against the Hokies. Momentum staying with Furman. 5th foul against Virginia Tech. And in the box, Joseph able to field it. He punts it all the way out to the midfield. Hokies trying to pick the tempo up. How about that touch for Furman, able just to tick it off of Uemana. Keep it with Furman. Looked like it was going to be the Hokies ball all the way until Stout kind of flew out of nowhere. Just tipped it off that right hip of Uemana, then went out of play, so ball with Furman. Paladin slowly approaching the trench. Along the midfield with it. Paladin's team that has scored 10 goals over their last 3 matches. Furman player hits the ground, and Ben Boxall.
Call the first one next time. It's terrible.
A lot of ticky-tacky, pushing and shoving. Boxall just gets tripped up from behind. Foul called against Bertelli. Free kick to the Paladins. Sent into the box. Joseph watches it out. So after the Hokies went a 15-minute drought without a shot, Furman now on a 20-minute drought without a shot.
1 minute remaining in the half.
Ball's just been a magnet to the midfield so far through the first 44 minutes. Under a minute to go before halftime. Sullins has some room. Finds Perez open. Looks to center it, and Horvat able to pounce on it. It was dislodged for a second, but the Paladin keeper falls on the soccer ball, and that should just about be our first half. Good opportunity for Virginia Tech there, but just unable to get the finishing touch. And we have played 45 minutes on this Tuesday night from Blacksburg, Virginia. Both teams. Just one corner kick opportunity for each of these squads. So the opportunities have been hard to come by. Underway, half number 2. We saw a lot of action in the midfield in that first half of play. Both offenses trying to find a sliver of hope in the opposing defense. Not much orchestrated offense by either team. Sullins trying to change that. Just outside the box. Dancing his way around a few defenders. Gets it over to Bellatrosh. On the far wing, just running out of room on it. Hits the end line, and it will be Furman ball. Time to just lose the footing. Getting close to that end line, and Horvat will see his first goal kick of the new half. Guy that's been a member of the Slovakian national team at the U17 and U18 levels. Played club soccer all the way out in Slovakia. First year playing for this Paladin team after redshirting last year in Greenville. Foul along the midfield. Hokies team that leads the ACC in fouls per game. Furman third in the SoCon. 61 total fouls in the 5 games for the Paladins. Just 6 teams in the SoCon. That will change next year as the Liberty Flames join the conference. A team that's currently playing in the Ohio Valley Conference. I'll let you figure that one out. Team in Lynchburg, Virginia, playing in the Ohio Valley Conference for men's soccer. But nonetheless, the party gets bigger in the SoCon starting in 2026. Player down along the far side of the field. It's Uemana, the captain. See the shade of McComas Hall all the way on the distance. No way walks it off. A bit of a tangle up, and we're back underway. Guy that was an all-ACC freshman team selection in his first year in Blacksburg 2 years ago. Followed it up last year, finishing 3rd in Tech's lineup in points, 2 goals and 3 assists a year ago. Oh, that was his freshman year, a goal and assist last year in his second year. But a guy that has 10 total points in his career in Blacksburg, Virginia. Those are the type of guys that Coach Mike Brizendine is really relying on here in this new era of Hokie soccer. Just under 70% of the roster brand new this year to Blacksburg. Bellatrosh. Quill tried his luck. Grouped by the junior out of Paris, France. The right boot, he touches it. Looks to center it, headed it away by the Furman defense. The slide tackle keeps the attack on. Shot, and it's stopped by Horvat. Butel able to put it on frame. Goes all the way to the corner. It will be a second corner kick for Virginia Tech. It all started with Colin Butel, the freshman out of Germany.
Virginia Tech corner
For
kick.
the lone goal against Ohio State in the win to open up the season. Tried the right foot, nope. Put it on, and Horvat able to make the stop. Tried the one foot, went to the other. It's the third corner kick of the match. Up into the air, headed, it's blooped over the crossbar. Who touched it? They're gonna say no touch from Furman, so a goal kick awarded to the Paladins. It was off the head of Tito Peralta, but then the question became, did anyone else tip it out of play? Virginia Tech averaging 6.25 corner kicks per game. They've seen just 2 so far for the first 49 minutes of action. Centering pass into no man's land. No one's home. Sullins with a chance, and Horvat comes able to fall on the ball. Ivan Horvat coming all the way out from the frame. And the 6'3" goalkeeper able to hold his post strong. Well, that's the tough part, right where you have a glimmer of hope. Chance to potentially put a shot on net. Ivan Horvat has other plans. 4 saves on the night for the goalkeeper. Off of a 3-save appearance against Davidson Thursday night. Now that plays in just his 4th game of the season for the Paladins. Really what has been a goalkeeper by committee for the visitors. Max Miller, Andrew LaPlaca, Aaron Salinas also in the equation, the returning SoCon goalkeeper of the year. He has not played a minute yet for the Paladins this season. Same boat as a 2024 second-team all-conference selection, and Lloyd Ramus-Snell, who also has not appeared in a minute this year. Whistle will award the free kick to Virginia Tech. Hand it over to Alex Perez, the sophomore out of Las Vegas, product of the Philadelphia Union Academy. Does have an absolute rifle of a boot. With the left foot, low lining, tries to find somebody, and it goes all the way through traffic. Nobody touches it until Declan Quill picks it up on the far ends. Now you see it, no you don't. He's turning up the tempo a little bit here through the first 8 minutes of the second half. No longer feeling out the Furman team. They've now seen him for 52 minutes in this match so far. Lined right to the goalkeeper, Horvat. Doesn't need to move a muscle. Throw the gloves up, and Horvat adds another save to his resume. That was off the boot of Declan Quill, the senior. And that plays in his 50th career match with the Hokies. Right back to Quill on cue. He shoots, and it's on the ground, stopped by Horvat. He drops to a knee. Now the Hokies starting to see some life. 3 straight shots over the last 5 minutes. Whistle goes against the Hokies. Number 5, Beltrash, called on the foul. The Hokies have showed a lot of promise to open up this 2025 season. Starting off with 2 straight wins and clean sheet fashion against Ohio State and Canisius. This one is squibbed out of play past the end line. And they followed it up with a big tie on the road at Marshall, the only road match for the Hokies so far. Virginia Tech team that's 2-0-1 at Thompson Field this year. If you can win a few road games along the way, you'll be a tournament team come November. Virginia Tech willing to take care of the ACC tournaments, something they've not been able to do the last few years. Corner kick for the Paladins, inserted into the box, and it's booted away by Felicio. Right back to the corner, this time headed away. Through ball, unable to find the receiver of Butel. With some speed, the Paladins. Joseph slides on it. Furman stopped in their tracks on it. They had some speed heading into the box. There's the offensive likes of Wilfer Bustamante, the sophomore out of Greenville, South Carolina. Hometown native to Greenville, a guy that was a preseason All-SoCon selection. And hoped after he had the year he did last year. 5 goals, second on the team. It's an All-SoCon second team and freshman team selection. So watch out for that number 17 in the Paladin whites. There's one guy that's going to be a difference maker. It's going to be him. Schroeder on the far wing to Uwimana. Sullins. Treats it out to Quill, and he just kicks it off a Paladin defender, and we're back out to the midfield. Some more pushing and shoving by both sides, and the ref lets them play on. And coming into it, we knew it was going to be 2 teams that have fouled a lot. Centering pass to Sullins broken up. So far, we have seen 9 combined fouls called, 7 against the Hokies, 2 against the Paladins. Zero stalemate so far from Blacksburg. This one's headed on frame, stopped by Horvaths. And another stop to the day of the redshirt freshman. Well, that's been peppered with shots here in this second half. Now the 5th shot for Virginia Tech. The second half alone tying their entire total from the first half. Centering pass, and Joseph fielded off his chest. Well, both goalkeepers have been getting their fair share of steps in, that's for certain. Joseph coming off of 3 saves against the University of Virginia Friday nights. He has 1 recorded save on the nights. Only just the 2 shots by Furman. The Paladins have gone about 30 minutes since their last shot in this ball game. All the way back at the 22-minute mark. It's Caleb Johnson to the top left of the frame, stopped by Joseph. But the last 35 minutes, the Paladins have been unable to get the offense together. So rolls towards the corner, and it will be Virginia Tech's ball on the throw-in. In the shadows. Doug Allison trying to get some trickery going for the Paladins. Team that has worked to 2 draws this year. Both to top 25 opponents in Duke and San Diego. The Paladins 3-0 against non-top 25 opponents. 0-2 against the top 25 clubs. Hokies with some momentum. Quill outside the box. Goes to his other boot, tries to center it. And this one's booted away by the Furman defense. Sosa that time able to get it to the midfield. Sullins with some space. Over to Bellatrash. Tries the chip shot to Sullins, the head, and this one is stopped by Horvath. Rather goes just past his reach, touched by the goalkeeper. Horvath pounced on it, but Sullins just able to punch it loose. Horvath's been getting dirty all night long. You take another look at it. Just over the reach of Sullins. And that time Horvath dives, it's past him and past the end line. Goal kick for the Paladins. Glare is right in the eye of the Paladin goalkeeper. He throws his hands up to try to protect his eyes from the glare. As does a lot of the fans here at Thompson Field. Good crowd on hand from Thompson Fields. The glare is right in the eyes as the sun sets over McComas Hall. The Hokie Nation has really shown out to Thompson Field in the last week. Friday night against the University of Virginia, the largest crowd for the Hokies this season. So 2,438 fans make their way out to Thompson. Marked a top 5 attendance in program history. There's people lining all the way behind the goals, behind the benches, trying to look through the chain link fence. It really was a standing room only capacity. It's also cool for a lot of these sports like soccer, softball, no admission charged at the gates. It's good to see the new students come out, the returning students, and everybody else, one of the Virginia Tech faithful. This Hokies team tries to build off that momentum of the tie on Friday nights. Club that feeds off their home crowd energy. Two squads both unbeaten so far through the first 2.5 weeks of play. Tripped up along the way is Alvarez, and the referee will reach into this pocket and issue a yellow card towards the Paladins. This one will go against Luke Munson, the freshman defender. So Furman issued their 12th yellow card of the season. Some pushing and shoving, Munson trying to catch up Alvarez, and the push from behind, referee's gonna make the call. And first card card we've seen of the match. Comes all the way in minute number 62. Schroeder finds Uwimana on the far side. Furman trying to flip the fields by the Hokies defense. Felicio keeping the pressure on. Defender chips it out over to Butel. Felicio into the box. Sullen's off his chest. Finds Perez, and it's punched loose. Corner kick coming for the Hokies. Their third of the match. Comes in a big spot here in the second half. Two-man inserts. Perez. Over to Sullins, who just misses the bicycle kick. Second chance punched loose by a defender. Third chance stopped by a Furman defender. Three different Paladins made a stop each. And the defense teams up to stop the Hokies. Man, oh man. Best opportunity by either team in this game to score. We remain deadlocked. Missed bicycle kick. Shot stopped by Horvat. Second one stopped by a defender. Hokies just keep on peppering the shots. You can now make it 11 for Virginia Tech. Still waiting for one to find the back of the nets. There's Felicio, the freshman who's been all over the field today. Guy that made his 5th start of his collegiate career today. Portugal. And trickles past the end line. Once again, the Hokies will set up for a corner kick.
Virginia Tech corner kick.
Is the 4th time going to be the charm for Virginia Tech. Alex Perez. On the far corner. Sophomore puts it into the box. Bellatrash through a sea of Furman defenders. Tries to fight through traffic. Unable to find a hole. It's pushed back to Bellatrash, who was just waiting at the top of the box to rifle a shot. Paladin team that has still not recorded a shot in the second half. So the Hokies defense is finding the right formula. Now the offense will now need to try to get going in the final 24 minutes of the match. Virginia Tech team that posted 7 clean sheets a year ago. Defense has been a staple here in Blacksburg, Virginia. The MO under the 17-year head coach Mike Brizendine. Here's Quill. Gets it on over to Butel. Hokies trying the 2-man game. Furman has an answer. This one's dislodged all the way to Sam Joseph. It's nearly up to the halfway line to make that stop. That's the athleticism for Joseph as he now hypes up his team with a few hand claps. Hokies trying to find something. No score just yet, 23 minutes to go. Perez has scored it into the box. Shoots it, this one's high over the nets. Alex Perez put a little too much air on that one. But it is the 3rd shot on the night for the sophomore.
Number 11, Caleb Johnson.
Well, Virginia Tech has seen some opportunities, but just wide, just high, just a bit outside. A goal kick awarded to Ivan Horvats. Furman 3-0-2 on the season. They're receiving votes in the top 25 poll. Virginia Tech 2-0-2, 14th in the most recent poll. So two teams that are unbeaten on the season. As this one's crossed to Joseph, he stops it. Second of a mini three-match home stretch for the Hokies. They tied Virginia. They still have to play Boston College in 5 days' time. Coming up this weekend. Should be a big match Sunday afternoon, Sunday night under the lights. Sunday night lights from Thompson Fields. Two teams that were in the same pool to finish in the bottom three of the ACC preseason poll. So it's going to be a big tilt match for both of those teams later this week. Right now, both of these teams focusing on the final 21 minutes of Furman and Virginia Tech. Here's Perez. This one's booted away. Hokies have outshot the Paladins 8-0 in the second half. Just waiting for one to go for Mike Brisendine's club. This match starting to have the feel of whoever can break the seal on it might walk away with a 1-0 victory. Offense has been hard to come by on this Tuesday night. No sales in stores for either of these offenses. Sullivan's broken up by Luke Hutzel, sophomore out of Georgia. Preseason All-SoCon selection. One of a handful of those on this Furman team. Here's Alvarez going just wide of Sullins. Couldn't catch up to it. Throwing to Diego Hernandez. He's been kept at bay all night long for the junior out of Texas. Team's leader with 3 goals on the season. Second in the SoCon and shots a game, second in the SoCon in points. But he has just not been a factor for Furman as the offense really has not been able to find something against Sam Joseph and the Hokies. Just 2 shots. The last one coming all the way back halfway through that first half at the 22-minute mark. If you pull your calculators on it, it's been almost 50 minutes since the Paladins last had a shot. Isn't that why the calculator was invented? Quick math like that? Under 20 minutes to play. Just outside the box is Uemana. Tries the through ball to Quill. And they're going to say there was a touch on it, so the Hokies get a corner kick. Furman tries pleading their case with our referee, Daniel Schneck-Morano.
Virginia Tech corner kick.
The R1 says, we had a touch on it. It's corner kick for the Hokies. Fifth opportunity for Virginia Tech in the corner. Perez puts the hands up. He inserts it with the left boot. It's punched loose by Horvat. And we're going to see a push go against Virginia Tech. Foul takes us the other way. So it'll be the 9th foul called against Virginia Tech. Ivan Horvat will get out of it. Untouched. Trio of subs enter the ball game for Furman. A Paladin team that has made just 5 subs up until this point. Doug Allison riding with his main group of guys through the first 72 minutes of action.
Furman, number 3, Trip Campbell. Number 16, Grayson Travis. And number 22, Gianluca Rizzo.
So Trip Campbell will make his way into the ball game for the first time tonight. We also see the returns of Grayson Travis, Gianluca Rizzo.
In for your Hokies, number 8, Hugo Bertelli. And number 12, Harrison Krieg.
Harrison Krieg will also see his first minutes for the Hokies. So is Bertelli coming back in. Harrison Krieg, a guy that's played in just 3 matches for Virginia Tech this year. Someone that walked onto the Virginia Tech team after a stint with the Virginia Tech club team. So a cool journey of a guy that started in the Rec Sports club ranks and now playing in the Division I ACC. We'll see a yellow card go against Furman. Uimana knocked down. He's grabbing that right ankle.
Furman's number 22, Gianluca Rizzo.
Rizzo, almost immediately inserted into the game, gets a yellow card. The freshman out of Eastchester, New York. It's the second card to go against the Paladins. We'll stop the clock with 17-19 to go. Take another look at it. Uimana just tripped up on the slide tackle, and the referee didn't like it, so Rizzo handed the yellow cards. It's the 13th card issued to Furman this season. Team that leads the SoCon in the yellow card department. Not necessarily a stat you want to lead in, but if you're Doug Allison, you got to like the fight from your team. Showing the tenacity to go out there in a tie ball game with just 17 minutes to play. Both teams have given it their all for the last 73 minutes. No score to show for it. Second ever meeting between Furman and Virginia Tech. Hokies trying to win their second straight. Furman trying to split the home and home. Here's Hernandez. Maneuvers it to the far wing. Now Sam Joseph will have to look up into the glare. Throws the right glove up to try to get his vision in. This one into the box, punched away. Furman able to stay on it. Through some traffic, Joseph falls on it. The first scoring chance for the Paladins since the 22-minute mark in this game. Time coming off the boot of Luke Munson, the freshman out of Little Elm, Texas. Pickpocketed, but the referee is going to say it wasn't clean, so the foul's bringing it back. If you're just joining us, a defensive stalemate between Furman and Virginia Tech for the first 74 minutes. Hokies out shooting the Paladins 13-2, 8-0 in the second half. Both goalkeepers have been able to hold the box strong, and Sam Joseph and Ivan Horvat. Hokies have seen a majority of the offensive looks in the second half. Here's another for Declan Quill, and he sends this one off the side of the frame. There will be a goal kick awarded to the Paladins. Furman at 3-0-2 on the year. They don't start SoCon play until the beginning of October. The Hokies also unbeaten at 2-0-2. Quill had a brief chance of an opportunity, but just chips it off the side of the nets. Virginia Tech fine-tuning before a pair of ACC matches greet the Hokies, starting on Sunday against Boston College. And Virginia Tech gets a full week off before they have to take the trip across country to Stanford to take on the Cardinal. Nothing like a good old Atlantic Coast Conference matchup out on the West Coast. The game is a 10 o'clock Eastern kick from Stanford. The Cardinal are a top 10 team right now, taking over the Hokies spot as 8th in the country. Well, the good news for Virginia Tech, they take just one trip to the West Coast. Cal will come to Virginia Tech in the penultimate match of the season. You talk about truly going all over the country as this one's booted behind the cage. Virginia Tech's got to go to Marshall, Stanford, Tennessee, Notre Dame up in Indiana, Carolina, South Carolina for Clemson. All you need is a trip to the East Coast, and Mike Brizendine can officially say he's gone from the Northeast all the way to the West Coast on the road trips this year, building up that RPI. He's currently 19th in the RPI department, although it's still really early to get into the RPI talk. Furman, on the other hand, they're at 15 on the RPI entering this morning. But it's always something coaches have in the back of their minds when they schedule a lot of these non-conference matchups, trying to build a schedule that A, gets them ready for a lot of the top-tier conference play, but also B, can build up that resume in RPI come tournament time. When it comes time for Selection Sunday, who's going to be playing for an NCAA tournament. For Furman, if they can do exactly what they did last year, win the SoCon, they'll get the automatic bid. SoCon tournament, first week in November again, site still to be determined. First week of November, also the ACC tournament. A return to Cary, North Carolina for the men's soccer semifinals and championship. Same thing as last year, the first round, the quarterfinals on the campus sites. Always a chance to potentially host another game. Postseason soccer. 12 minutes to go between Furman and Virginia Tech. Still scoreless. One chipped into no man's land. Paladins able to punch it loose with some space. Here comes the visitors along the near side. It's Munson with a burst of speed. Tries to cross it, stopped off the left shin of Peralta. And a corner kick will come to the Paladins. It's just the second corner kick for Furman in the match. The first since the 54-minute mark. The Paladins have some rust on them. Are they able to break the seal here in the 79th minutes? Corner kick number 28 on the year for the Paladins. Some pushing from Sullins, and the refs let him play on. Furman player jumped up to head it, hit the ground on it. Now the Paladins will need to regroup. Inside the box with it. Tries to center it. It's knocked loose by Schroeder. So look at the stat sheets. Still no official shots by the Paladins in the second half.
The call on the field is under further review.
And we're going to see a official review. So our referee, Daniel Schneck-Morano, go back to the replay monitor for the first time since the opening minute of the game. So a brief stop. Even the referee's got to try to cover his eyes. The glare is brutal, folks. Hopefully you're at home somewhere, nice cozied up under a blanket. Or I guess it's warm enough out. Be outside enjoying the nice weather in Blacksburg. Fall is fast approaching. I guess we're technically, could say we are already in fall. No, not technically. September 22nd. Still in summer. Soak up the sun while we still can. Nonetheless, no score between the Hokies and the Paladins. They've soaked up this defensive battle so far. Our referee checking on the previous play. A corner kick from the Paladins. There was some pushing and shoving from both sides. No call made at the moment. So now we wait. It's the thumbs up. We'll see what the call is. Don't exactly know what our referee's looking at, but he's going to bring the coaches together and explain it to Doug Allison and Mike Brizendine. Well, based on the reactions, it looks like there's some confusion from both sidelines. I guess no call was made on it. So they confirm the call. I can't tell if they've awarded possession or not yet. They have Furman with the throw-in on the far side. There he is. There's the man of the hour. Just ready to throw it in, and the likes of Dunham just hanging out by the bench. It's like, where's Waldo? Fires it into the box. It's headed on net, stopped by Sam Joseph. Like a magnet, the gloves of Joseph on. So pitch in the shutout so far. Hokies trying to get a win out of it, but they need to score first. Schroeder to the far side. Uemana tries the chip and chase to Perez. Under 10 minutes to go. Game number 5 for Virginia Tech. Game number 6 for Furman. Two unbeaten teams collide on this Tuesday night from Blacksburg. The winner, a tie for Virginia Tech, would be the second year in a row in which the Hokies are unbeaten through their first 6 games. Quill outside of the box, able to snipe a shot right into the gloves of Horvaths. A year ago, the Hokies tied 4 matches. So you're already 2 through their first 4. Still a lot of soccer left. With some space, here's Bellatrash. Tries to center it, stopped by the defense of Furman. Sliding in to knock it loose was Miguel Sosa. Also a heads-up play to boot it to the side, not to the end line, throw in for the Hokies. Quill in the box. This one punched out. And Uemana will need to chase it down. Hokies have tied each of their last 2 matches. Finessing 2 defenders. Here's Perez. Off the foot of Bertelli. Uemana fighting through. Furman, they've played to 1 0-0 draw this season back against San Diego. For Virginia Tech, the score holds. It would be their first 0-0 draw since October 11th of last year against NC State. Still 7 minutes left for both teams to magic up some offense. The players tangled up. This one's off the back of Krieg. Paladins have already seen 2 yellow cards in the match. One to Rizzo and the other one to Munson. Declan Quill trying to show some tenacity in the final 7 minutes. So Furman starting a stretch this week where they 2 straight road games, one against Virginia Tech, and the other one they'll take on Gardner-Webb later this week. Trying to start the road trip right. Perez along the far side. Bertelli aiding the sophomore. This one just chips out of play, and it will go towards Furman. Although I have to point out that match on the 12th of September could be a battle of 2 of the best mascots in college soccer. The Paladins against the Runnin' Bulldogs. I mean, Furman and Gardner-Webb. Gonna be a match between the SoCon and the Big South. Down at Gardner-Webb. The Runnin' Bulldogs have looked good to start this year. 5-0-0. They just keep climbing the rankings, it feels like. What is usually a competitive Big South conference. Final 5 minutes. Well, if you're a fan of defense and good saves, this has been the match for you.
Well committed game for your Hokies, number 13.
He's out shooting the Paladins 15-2.
And number 18,
Furman has not seen a shot in the second half. 2 new subs check in for Mike Brizendine and Virginia Tech. Dagger Traustason, the freshman out of Iceland, sees his first collegiate minutes. Guy that appeared in the Iceland U16 and U17 national teams. To see him make his collegiate debut. Alfaro Ruiz Mateos also checks back in. So Traustason continuing sort of a pipeline between Virginia Tech and Iceland. We saw who was at Floki Stevens last year out of Iceland. A lot of good soccer there across the pond, taking their talents to the United States here in the NCAA, and the Hokies have garnered themselves another corner kick. 6th opportunity for Virginia Tech. Looking to find the formula. Under 4 minutes to play. Here's Perez. And it's headed away outside the box. Back to the midfield. Duimana able to apply the pressure. Keeps on dwindling away. So we've hit the 86th minute of this ball game. Furman team that averages 15.8 shots per game. They have just mustered 2 shots in this contest. Their last shot coming at the 22-minute mark. I'll let all my math folks figure that one out. Joseph able to come out of the area to make the stop. Furman trying to get something with Grayson Travis, stud athlete at Trinity High School out in Louisville. Back to Sam Joseph. Now Furman trying to apply the press. Here's Virginia Tech in the final 2 minutes. Ruiz Mateos. This one's headed away. He tried to get it to Traustason. That one's going to go all the way on the roof of McComas. I call not it for getting that. I don't know if I want to be able to get up there. Final 90 seconds. So the Hokies have some heroics in them. Fired into the box. Furman wants a call and they get it. Handball issued against Virginia Tech. Touching it with the hands is Traustason. And we have hit the final minutes on this Tuesday night. Horvat serves it on a platter. He'll punt it away. Goes all the way towards the Furman bench. It's out of bounds. The ref is going to stop the clock at 37 seconds. Throwing for Schroeder. Whistle against Virginia Tech. Now the Paladins need to move quick. Booted all the way downfield. Joseph able to field it on a hop. Punts it up. Uemata spins away with it.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Shot, and this one will go, and off the post. That would have been miraculous if Virginia Tech could have put the Hail Mary up at the buzzer, rings the aluminum. Horvat just lost it, and he will breathe a